Okay, so purpose of this is going to be 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes long, just to kind of launch the midterm exam, to answer any last minute questions that you all may have about the exam, the format, or anything else. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually just kind of show you a screen share of what Cougar Courses is going to look like for you all. And then just kind of talk about the exam and answer any questions that you have. So in terms of the exam, there are 18 kind of multiple choice true false questions, and then the 5 short answer questions, as I mentioned. One of those short answer questions is the one that I already posted on Cougar Courses last week that you've had access to for the whole week. That's the last question on the exam. So I do recommend that you work on that and you have an almost complete or a complete answer by the time you start the exam. So then once you get to that question, you just paste your answer into that and you're good to go. The other questions, as I said, are a combination of multiple choice, true, false, and short answer calculation questions. So let me just share my screen so you can see kind of the way that this is going to be formatted on Cougar Courses. So when you all log on to Cougar Courses, you should see something like this. I have my role set up as if I were a student. So if you go to this week, it's midterm week. On here, there's just going to be the instructions that the exam is now officially open as of 9:30. So you should be able to access it, hopefully. And that the exam closes tomorrow, Thursday, March 18th at 11:59 p.m. Once you begin the exam, you have 2 hours to complete it. So that means if you were to start up the exam at, like you started it at 9:30 this morning, your exam would close at 11:30 a.m. this morning, and it would automatically close and you're done at that point. In order to get the entire 2 hours to complete the exam, that also means that you have to start it by 9:59 p.m. on Thursday, March 18th, so tomorrow. Or otherwise, if you start it, say at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, then you would only get an hour because the exam closes at midnight. So just make sure you're starting it so that you get the entire time period to complete it. Hopefully it won't take you the entire 2 hours, but you know, there's some calculation questions, there's things that you have to go through. It's shorter than I normally have it. And because you have that one last prompt question in advance, that should mean that the time you're spending in the actual exam is shorter than it normally would be, because you don't have to do that one particular short answer question while you're actually within that 2 hour time period. So that's one thing. As I mentioned, for all of the questions that say show all your work, so they're all the short answer questions that have calculations. They specifically say show all of your work to receive full credit and for me to give you partial credit. So what you can do for those is you complete the calculations either by hand on a piece of paper on your desk, or you can open up a Word document and you can type out the formulas, type out your answers, type out your interpretations on a Word document, and then save that and upload it. Or you can take a picture of the work and your answers that you did on paper, make sure they are legible, and then you can upload those pictures of your work onto Cougar Courses. And where you will do that is you'll notice here in this exam section, there is a link that says use this link to submit your work for the problems that require you to show all of your work. There's a typo there, so I will fix that. So essentially you'll click this and you will add a submission to this and you'll upload your work. The way that this works is you do not have to upload it within the 2 hour time period for your exam, because I know taking pictures, getting it up on your computer, getting it uploaded, that in of itself can take 10 to 15 minutes. So I don't want that to be something you're rushing to do within that 2 hours. So I give you a 15-minute grace period for that. So say it takes you the entire 2 hours to complete your exam and you finish it at 11:30 a.m. You have until 11:45 a.m. to take a picture or to save your Word document on your computer and upload that into this link, so that while I am grading your exam, I have access to all of that work that you've done. Not only is it important for receiving full credit, so that if you get the right answer, I can see how you got the right answer, and that you just didn't magically come up with that. But it's also extremely important for me to give you partial credit. As I've mentioned before, if you get the wrong answer, I do give quite a bit of partial credit. So I will go through, I'll look at the work, I'll see what formula you used, I'll see what numbers you plugged in and so on, and see where the mistakes happen. And I'll give partial credit accordingly based on the work that you did and not just on the correct answer. So it is imperative that you upload that work and you show the detailed steps that you're taking to get to the right answers, so that I can make sure that you're doing it correctly and give partial credit when necessary if the answer is not correct. So that's that link there. And then the midterm exam link is here. So you'll just click on this and it'll pop up. It gives you this opened at 9:30 a.m. It closes tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Time limit is 2 hours. You'll click attempt that quiz now. And then that'll open up the quiz and show you all of the answers, or show you all the questions so that you can answer them. And then at the end, you'll just submit it. If you have questions while you are completing the exam, so say you're reading one of the questions and you're not sure what I'm asking you, or you're not sure how to answer it, if you have questions, you can reach out to me via email, but the quickest way to get an answer from me is going to be via text message. So I've sent you all my phone number before, but I put it here directly as well. So that if you're working on something on the exam, you're like, I just don't know what he's asking, or this wording is super confusing. That's never intentional on my part. I do make mistakes, we all do. So don't hesitate to reach out to me if you're not sure. There may be times where I have to say that you figuring that out is part of the question. I can't answer your question, but that's often very rare. Most of the time I can provide some kind of clarifying remark that says, this is what I'm asking you, or this is what you should be thinking about when you're answering this question. So don't hesitate to reach out to me, but also reach out to me early. If you reach out to me an hour and 50 minutes into your exam with a question, there's a very good chance I'm not going to get back to you and answer your question. If you reach out to me an hour into your exam, there's a very good chance I will be able to get back to you and answer your question. And if needed, jump onto a phone call, jump onto a Zoom and look at things and make sure that everything is lining up. There have been occasional times where, for example, there's a multiple choice question and you do something and you're like, the right answer, I don't see the right answer here. So if you're looking at it and you're pretty confident you've done the right work and you don't see the right answer, maybe I made a mistake and I didn't put the right answer. So don't just, keep thinking there's, I did something wrong. Contact me so then I can correct that and tell you what to do in that moment, because these online systems are not ideal. At the same time too, if you're working on this online system, something happens to your internet, something's not showing up correctly, something looks weird, let me know. I cannot help you fix those issues, or I can't help figure out what to do at the end if I don't know that you've actually had an issue. And I have had students in previous semesters where in the middle of the exam, their computer wigged out and died. And they're like, what do? I only answered half the questions. If something like that happens, contact me as soon as you can so that we can figure out what to do next. And so, yeah, so just reach out to me if you need anything. Obviously, if I have meetings or if I have other stuff going on, I may be a little bit delayed. So that's why you need to give me at least 30 to 45 minutes to be able to get back to you and help. And so you can reach out and then keep moving on the exam. And obviously, if you're reaching out to me between like 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., or really probably 7:30 a.m., I'm not going to get back to you. So, if you decide to take the exam in the middle of the night or really late, there's a good chance I won't be able to get back to you, but typically I'm around my phone and somewhat available during the night time as well, after 5 p.m. So if that does work best for you because of your work schedule or class schedule or whatever, and you're going to take the exam tonight at 7 p.m. and you have a question, feel free to reach out and I should be available to answer your questions for you. So that's the exam. That's what you're going to do to upload your work and show your work. As I said, there's 18 multiple choice / true false, 5 short answer questions, with one of those 5 being the prompt that you already have and that is posted here. So make sure you're looking at that and working on that before the exam. But any questions? What all are you wondering about? What do you have questions about before I say good luck and have a great spring break, and let me know if you need anything else.
For the short answer response for the prompt you gave us, you said we don't need any references, but how do you want us like annotate those evidence that we do find from like say CDC website or something?
Yeah, so you don't have to put like full references, and you know, if you're pulling information from the CDC and stuff, I'm not going to expect that you like annotate those out or anything. If you want to just put like in parentheses CDC or something, you're welcome to, but I don't require that for this particular for this particular assignment. So
okay,
yeah, so you don't have
sounds
to annotate them. I'll kind of just trust that if you're giving me numbers, that you actually got them from somewhere. If the numbers seem really wonky, I may go and look them up. And if they're completely off and you just started making up percents, then obviously I won't give credit for that. But yeah, so just if you know, just be truthful, basically. I'm pretty trusting. And that goes to say too, this is an individual exam. You should not be working on this exam with other students in the class. It's very obvious when you work together on the exam with other people. So don't, you know, I know it's very tempting to be on a question and be like, oh, let me just text my friend really quickly and see what they think or see what they put. It's not worth your time. It's not worth my time. You don't want to be caught not working on this on your own. As I said, it often actually in these online formats, it's actually more obvious typically when students work together than it is on a paper exam, because of patterns of responses and things that you can more easily see in an online exam than you can on a paper exam. So just don't do it, please. If you're wondering or you're not sure about concepts or how to answer things and you're still studying, reach out to me before you start the exam and the next day, and let's go over those concepts and work through them together before you start the exam.
I have a question.
Yep.
So it's just answering one of the questions on the prompt that you gave us, right? Or all of it?
No, so that's a full prompt. So everything goes together on that prompt.
Okay, so everything on that prompt you have to answer.
Yeah, those are all questions that are related to each other.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just copy and paste that into the actual exam.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a question on the exam that literally has this prompt. And right before it, it says, this is the prompt you've already received. So you should just be pasting on what you've already done into here. So you'll just copy and paste it from a Word document or from whatever you've used and put that into the document. There is a way, I believe, to actually, if you want to just upload your Word document, I believe the exam will let you attach a Word document there as well. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to, whatever works best for you. What else? Any other questions? Cool. Well, good luck with the exam. As I said, reach out to me if you have any questions or if you're wondering about anything. And I will have them graded most likely by Friday. And so I'll post the grades on Cougar Courses and email you all by Friday that the grades are available. If not, I'll have them graded by like Monday. And then those will be there. Next week is spring break. So I hope you all have a wonderful spring break and that you're able to relax and have a little bit of fun, safely, of course, and socially distanced, of course, because we are still in the pandemic. So, you know, the other thing I do want to mention too is there were some atrocious acts that happened last night and violence against Asian women who were killed in their places of work. And that is unfortunately a large thing that we've been seeing happening in terms of violence against Asian Pacific Islander people as a result of the pandemic and blame being shifted. So we're seeing this pandemic of hate and discrimination against certain groups, and that's unacceptable. And if that is affecting you or your families in any way or anybody that you know, please don't hesitate to reach out, because I know seeing those types of things on the news and living in some of those experiences is very, very challenging. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me or others on campus if you need to just talk to someone or need support. And and we're happy to, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help provide resources for you if I'm not able to help. So, well, good luck everyone with the exam. I will see you all in a couple of weeks in our live session, and we will go from there. Have a great spring break. And as I said, I hope you're able to relax and have a little bit of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.